For over 4 decades, Tom Cruise has stood at the absolute center of Hollywood. He is the ultimate known quantity, a fixture on screens worldwide who has engineered a career out of running faster, jumping higher, and smiling wider than anyone else in the business. But that meticulously curated public persona hides a surprisingly strange reality. Away from the cameras, the actual events of his life read like outtakes from a thriller, fueled by a level of intensity that makes his blockbuster characters look relaxed. Today, we are stripping away the movie magic to examine the actual facts of his life. We're looking at the bizarre, highly controlled reality beneath the movie star polish. These details stand apart from typical celebrity trivia. They reveal the exact anatomy of a man who has effectively decided to live as a real-life action hero, refusing to ever break character. Long before he ever stepped onto a film set, a 14-year-old Thomas Cruise Mapother IV sought structure in an entirely different world. He enrolled in a Franciscan seminary in Cincinnati, Ohio, dedicating himself to becoming a Catholic priest. He spent a year attending daily mass and immersing himself in the strict liturgical lifestyle. Eventually, the school sent a letter to his parents suggesting he not return, abruptly closing the door on his spiritual ambitions. Without missing a beat, he redirected that intense devotion into high school athletics. He joined the varsity wrestling team in New Jersey, pushing himself so relentlessly that he began planning for a career as a professional competitor. That plan vanished during his junior year when he severely blew out his knee. The injury was permanent enough to sideline him from the sport, forcing him to look for a new outlet. He signed up for a school production of Guys and Dolls, and his theater career began. Even earlier, he had applied this same drive to a humble paper route, delivering the news while quietly treating it like an enterprise, a small but telling origin point for his notorious work ethic. This redirection became a recurring cycle. Whenever a path of total devotion closed, he immediately channeled that same high-octane energy into a new discipline, replacing one obsession with the next. We see that same discipline today in his approach to cinema. To film an underwater heist for Rogue Nation, he trained extensively with a free diving specialist to slow his heart rate, holding his breath for a continuous 6 minutes and 6 seconds to capture the sequence in a single take. For his most recent project, he strapped himself to a parachute soaked in fuel, lit it on fire, and jumped out of a helicopter at 7,500 feet. He repeated this drop 16 times, earning a Guinness World Record. Behavioral scientists use a concept called embodied cognition to explain how repeating physical actions shapes human thought. By performing these high-stakes stunts over decades, he has quite literally primed his nervous system to move toward danger and take control during moments of real crisis. This conditioning crosses over into his private life. While sailing off the coast of Capri in 1996, he spotted a yacht engulfed in flames due to an electrical fire. He immediately dispatched his skiff and rescued 5 people from a rubber life raft, mere minutes before their burning ship sank. That same year in Los Angeles, he witnessed a hit-and-run accident that left a 23-year-old woman with a broken leg and bruised ribs. He stayed with her on the asphalt, followed the ambulance to the hospital, and paid her $7,000 medical bill in full when he learned she was uninsured. On the set of Cocktail, his co-star Elizabeth Shue was completely unaware she was running directly toward the invisible, spinning tail rotor blades of a recently landed helicopter. He sprinted after her and physically tackled her to the ground, saving her life. Staging these crises for the camera serves as a high-stress rehearsal. The stunts act as physiological training, conditioning his brain for real-world emergencies with the exact precision used on set. This physical mastery is matched by an iron-fisted control over his personal brand. Walk into any toy store, and you will quickly notice a glaring omission. There is zero official Tom Cruise merchandise on the shelves. He enforces a strict clause in every contract, that forbid studios from using his likeness to manufacture action figures or video games. Decades before the industry was forced to reckon with artificial intelligence and digital deepfakes, he had already built a legal fortress around his face and voice. Yet, alongside these rigid legal boundaries, he maintains a surprisingly wholesome, highly choreographed social tradition. Every December, he activates one of the most exclusive delivery networks in Hollywood, his Christmas cake list. Each year, he ships hundreds of white chocolate coconut bundt cakes from Doane's Bakery in California to a hand-picked selection of co-stars, executives, and journalists. Landing a spot on the list to receive this $130 pastry has become a highly coveted status symbol among the Hollywood elite. Both the anti-merchandising ban and the cake list demonstrate the same underlying drive. Both actions allow him to curate, dictate, and maintain absolute sovereignty over his own image. When you line up the pieces, you are left with a fascinating set of paradoxes. The aspiring teenage priest who became an adrenaline-fueled daredevil, the anti-merchandising mogul who meticulously maintains his social currency with baked goods, the man who treats burning yachts and spinning helicopter blades as actionable problems to solve. These facts demonstrate an individual who flatly refuses to be a passive participant in his own life. Whether he is producing a massive film franchise or deciding exactly how his face will be used, he insists on maintaining a firm grip on the steering wheel. In an entertainment era dominated by heavily manufactured, algorithm-driven public relations, his discipline stands out. The intensity we see on screen is simply the byproduct of an off-screen reality that operates with the exact same rigor. After 40 years of jumping from airplanes and dangling from skyscrapers, he has reached a point of total self-actualization. He is his own most successful production, a living, breathing action hero, engineered from the ground up.
Welcome to Byte Tunes. To know more amazing things, please subscribe this channel.